All right, going into this next section on division. Okay, I'm show you. So you know how to multiply. Okay, you know how to add and subtract polynomials, but now we're going to focus on division. Right, there's different ways to do it, and the first way is with the long division. Yes, long division, just like you did in first, second grade with dividing out the long way. We're going to do long division with polynomials. All right, so get out a sheet of paper so you can take some notes, okay, and follow along, because again, these are things that you need to know how to do. And again, there's a lot of questions of this that'll be on the test that'll be coming up soon. All right, so let's get that paper out and get ready to go. All right, so the question was where you had 6x to the third plus 11x squared plus 24x plus 7. It's going to divide it by 3x plus 1. Okay, or just divide it by. Same thing, all right? So we're going to do it like long division, right? So when you're dividing by, whatever you're dividing by is what goes in front of the division bar. So 3x plus 1 will go in front. Again, pay attention. Okay, we got a division bar. So I'm going to put here, which is 6x to the third plus 11x squared plus 24x plus 7. Okay? All right, so when you're doing, you're going to just start with the first term here, okay, the 3x, okay, looking at 3x and with the 6x to the third. So that's why you got to know your multiplication with the polynomial. So what times 3x will give you 6x to the third? Well, what times 3 will give you 6 would be 2. And what times x will give you x to the third? X squared. Okay. Now, once you have that, you're going to take this 2x squared and multiply by both of these. So 2x squared times 3x is 6x to the third. 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. See how it matches up? Okay. Now, once you've done that, now you're going to change the signs because we got to subtract. So I'm going to change the sign here, make that a minus. Here, make that a minus. That cancels out. 11x squared, take away 2x squared would be 9x squared. Okay. All right. Okay. So again, same concept of long division. We're still doing the same thing. Okay. So now we'll subtract. Now we're just going to bring down the next term. Plus 24x. Okay. Let's do the same thing. What times 3 will give you 9? That would be 3. Since it's positive, put plus. What times x give you x squared? Would be x. So now let's take this 3x and multiply by both of these terms. So 3x times 3x would be 9x squared. 3x times 1 would be 3x. Okay. Remember, we now have to subtract, so I'm going to change the signs because those cancel out. 24x take away 3x would be 21x. Now let's again bring down the next term. Okay. So now again, let's do the same thing. What times 3x will give you 21x would be 7, because 3 times 7 is 21. Okay. There's no x up here because there's nothing times x1 would just give you that x, so you don't add no x or nothing at the end. So now let's multiply everything by this 7. So 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, so now we can change the sign, subtract. That cancels out. And look here, this cancels out. Okay, so here, that means you do not have a remainder. Okay, if you did have a remainder, you would put that over the divisor. Okay, but right now, that means your final answer here is 2x squared plus 3x plus 7. Okay, so now I want you to try one on your own. All right, so you can pause the screen. Okay, and I want you to try this problem here when you're doing a long division. Again, follow steps. Again, I know it takes a little time, but again, try it. Again, you're not gonna learn anything without even at least trying. Okay, so this problem right here to my right. Okay, is that you need to attempt this problem. Okay, so again, let's pause that screen. All right, so now let's see if we did it right. Okay, again, remember I told you what's being divided by goes in the front. Okay, so now what times 4 will give you 12 would be 3. What times x will be x to the third would be x squared. So multiply. So if you did that right, you multiply both of these by 3x squared. So it gives you 12x to the third plus 3x squared. Okay, then you subtract it if you did that right. Okay, good. All right, because that canceled out. 7 take away 3 would be 4. It's still x squared. Then you brought down the next term. Okay. Now, what times 4x give you 4x squared? Be 1x. Okay, so now 1x times 4x is 4x squared. 1x times 1 will be 1x. So now when we subtract, that cancels out. 9 take away 1 will be 8x. Then bring down the next term. Okay, so now we do the same thing here. What times 4 gives you 8 will be 2. 3 plus 2. 2 times both of those. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times 1 is 2. And you can see right here, all of those cancel out and you get 0. So your answer would be 3x squared plus 1x plus 2. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be working on is another form of division. Okay, so you really will get the same thing, but just another method, and it's called synthetic division. Okay, might be totally new to you all, but again, just that's why I follow along with these notes. And the more that you do things, the easier things get. Again, it's just like riding a bike or like a baby walking. Okay, baby stumbling at first, but then the baby continues and the baby running before you know it. All right, so let's pay attention right here. I'm going to show you how to do the synthetic division. All right, pay close attention. Okay, now with synthetic division, you're only dealing with the coefficients. Okay, so that's why you need to know how to put polynomials in standard form. Okay, so when I do it, coefficients, I'm going to write all of the coefficients of the polynomial. Okay, so remember, coefficients are the numbers in front. There's no number in front of here, so it'll be 1. So I'm put down a 1. Then we have 6. This goes with that, so that'll be -4. That'll be -16. That'll be -7. Okay, draw a line right here, and I'll put a little box up here. Okay. Now, when we divide, doing synthetic division, you want to divide by the solution of the divisor. Okay. What I mean by the solution is if I set this equal to 0, x plus 1 equal to 0, right? And if I solve for x, just why I'm knowing to solve an equation, solve for x, but remember the opposite of adding 1, subtract 1, right? X equals -1. So that solution here, -1, this number is what's going to go in here, okay? That's what we're going to use for the synthetic division, okay? So I'm putting -1 in here. I know some of this looks crazy, but you'll be all right, okay? All right, so now we got it set up, okay? Again, this is the hardest part is getting the coefficients and then your divider. Once you do that, the rest of it's going to be easy. Okay, so what you need, the first thing you do is you're going to bring down the first term. Just bring it down. Always, whatever the first term, bring it down. Now you're going to multiply this number by the number in the box. So -1 times 1, we get -1. So you're going to put that answer here. Okay. So now we're going to combine. So 6 and -1, 6 minus 1, that gives you 5. Okay. And then we're going to take this number in the box, multiply by this bottom number, -1 times 5, and that answer goes here. That gives you -5, right? Now we combine. -4, -5 gives you -9. Now let's take this the number in the box, now times, multiply with this number. Now don't forget, that's why you need to know your signs. So negative times a negative gives us positive, and that answer goes there, so it gives us a +9. Now when I combine here, negative 16 and 9 gives me a negative 7. Okay. Now we're going to take this negative 1 and multiply it by the negative 7, and that answer goes there. Negative times negative gives us a positive 7. And look right here, this cancels out, so that means we have 0. So that means you have no remainder. Okay. Now, how you write your answer is your answer goes down 1 degree, all right, from the original problem. So the degree of here was 4. So your answer goes down 1 degree. So that's going to start out as a degree of 3. And these are the coefficients of your answer. So since it goes down 1 degree, that'll be 1x to the third plus 5x squared minus 9x minus 7. Okay, just goes right down there in order, descending order. Okay. Okay, so here's one I want you to try on your own. Okay, see, can you get that? Okay. Now this time, if there is a remainder, whatever that last answer is, you put it over the dividend. Okay. So again, pause the screen and let's try it right now. So if you had tried it, again, same thing what we did before. Okay. We're using the coefficients. All right. Remember descending order. So you should have 3, negative 7, negative 2, negative 13. And then your solution to your divisor, okay, what minus 3 gives you 0, should have been 3, okay? And you should have looked at like this, okay? See how you got the positive 3 there? So brought down the first term, multiply, combine, multiply, combine, multiply, combine. So if you have the answer in the last spot, that is your remainder. How you write your answer for the remainder is you put that remainder over the divisor, okay, which was what you divided by was x minus 3. So this right here, 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 plus negative 1 over x minus 3 is how you write your answer, okay? So if there was no remainder, again, all you would have is that part. Remember, your answer goes down 1 degree, okay? So if you got this correct, good job. Okay, next thing is what I want to talk about is when we want to talk about the remainder theorem. Okay, what the remainder theorem is, you're doing synthetic division, and all they want is your answer. What is the remainder? Okay, so whatever's the last number at the end when you do your remainder. Okay, now you look at this problem here. We got 2x to the 4th minus 3x plus 3. Okay, remember we said we use your coefficients. Now you got to be careful. Remember, it's in descending order. So we have x to the 4th, so that'll be a 2. But now, do we have an x to the 3rd? No, you still have to put a place in for that x to the 3rd because it has to be in descending order. So that means you got to put a 0 for x to the 3rd. Okay. Do we have an x to the 2nd? No, so you got to put a 0 in that spot. So whatever variable or whatever exponent you're missing, you still got to have a place for that. Okay. So that's for the x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd. Now we can put in the negative 3 for the x and then put in the 3 here. Okay. All right, so remember, write our box with synthetic division. Remember our solution here. Okay, what minus 1 gives you 0? Positive 1. So positive 1 goes into the box here. Okay, again, nothing changes for our synthetic division. Okay, bring down the first term. 2, multiply. I get 2. Add that together. I get 2. Multiply. I get 2. Add that together. I get 2. Multiply. I get 2. Now when I combine here, that gives me negative 1, right? When I multiply, it gives me negative 1. When I combine that, I get 2. So your answer is 2. So your remainder is 2. That's what they're asking, okay? When you do the remainder theorem. All right, so the more we're going to do this, the easier it's going to get. Okay, we'll have some more activities that we're going to have. All right, again, if you need some help, sign up for the office hours. Again, I can help you one-on-one. Again, I'm here for you. Trust me, I do want you to pass. All right, Again, we can all get this done. Again, can get things done by the time that the due dates. Again, I'm here for you. Sign up for the office hours. Reach out to me. Let me know. Again, I got your back. All right.